Hey guys, it's Slats, and welcome back to Ask Slats, the series in which you guys submit questions or topics and I talk about them here on the channel. For today's question, we have why is it so hard to think about what I want to do in the future? I have the skills and the grades, but can't think of what to do with those things. First off, thank you so much for submitting this question, and this is a question that I've asked myself so many times, both in the past and even still to this day. And it's something that I think everyone has asked themselves, and no one really knows what the future holds. Like, we're kind of all just going day by day at this point. But I think to start off, I don't know where in your school career you are right now. You mentioned grades, so that's why I'm saying that. But I think if you're early on in like either you're about to go to college or you're early on in your college career, just take as many different classes as possible throughout college. I think, your first 2 years, you're taking a bunch of these general education requirements. Like, and if you go in undecided, I'm pretty sure it's like you could literally just take any fucking class that's like intro to this, intro to that because I went into school knowing what my major was, and you still have to take all those general education classes. Like I took a writing class, I took Italian, I took computer science, I took science, I took all these stuff that had nothing to do with my major, but it was just you had to do it. So I think that's really good though, especially if you don't know what you want to do because it shows not only what you're interested in, but I would say arguably more important is what you don't like, what you're not interested at all. And I think even throughout high school, I was pretty certain on things that I had no interest in doing because throughout high school, I really didn't know that much of what I wanted to do. But I was also a pretty good student. Like I got A's, B's, was on the honor roll, all that stuff. But I was terrible at math. I couldn't do it, and I think it's because I was good at memorizing stuff, right? Like history and like some of the science classes and like English and stuff like that. Like a lot of it is just like memorizing, right? And being a good test taker and stuff like that, which I was, but when it comes to math, it's like okay, you can memorize the formulas and stuff like that, but it's a lot of like applying that and like problem solving and stuff like that, and that's just wasn't my forte. And so I knew I don't want to do anything with math. I'm not good at it, which my younger self would probably be upset because I remember as a kid I wanted to be a roller coaster designer, which is like an engineer, I guess, and that's a lot of math, so I can't do that. But I didn't even really think of this until honestly I was thinking about college and what I wanted to do, in college. And the way I found out is my freshman year of high school, I signed up for this elective, and it was a TV broadcasting class. And the only reason why I signed up for it was because my brother said the teacher was cool, and it was an easy, A. He'll give you an A. And I was like, okay, I'll take this class. And I quickly fell in love with it. I took that class. I signed up for the club. I took the class every single semester of high school. I became the teacher's assistant in a bunch of the classes. I became the president of the club. I was just very, very like passionate about this. And it was basically, you do the morning announcements, and within the class, the teacher would assign us like a genre to make a short film over, be in groups. I was also with a bunch of my friends, so it was super, super fun. So when it came to my junior year and like applying to colleges and stuff like that, I was like, I think the literal only thing I'm interested in is TV and film. So when I was applying to colleges, I was applying to film schools, TV schools, programs that, were both of them combined. And I got accepted to a couple universities and my got denied for my dream one. I wanted to go to NYU for film, but I didn't make it into that. But I'm actually so happy that I didn't because I quickly realized after going to school for TV and film that I did not like film. So if I would have went to NYU for film, I would have wasted my parents' money and probably left the school. So I was so happy about that. But, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like I probably wouldn't have known that if I didn't take, the film classes or the TV classes. So I realized that I wanted to go in the TV industry. But the TV industry is huge. Like there's so many different paths you could take within that. So I had to figure out what specifically I was going to do. And obviously there's a bunch of classes that I took that, specified in different, positions or paths you could go down. And then I also did extracurricular activities where, we had like a student run TV station. I do a bunch of different positions on there. And it was the same thing with the classes, right? Where it's like I figured out what I liked. And I think, again, what I would say is more importantly, what I didn't like, and I knew what my strengths were. And you say here again where you say your skills, and I think you know what your skills are, you know what your strengths are, and I think you just have to find out how you could apply those to things that you like. And I'm not saying that's easy, but I think you just have to try a bunch of different things. That's just what you got to do, whether it's within school, outside of school, whatever it is. So now, about a year and a half later, I'm currently working as a video editor. And did I think that was going to be my job, going into college, going into high school? No. But do I enjoy video editing? Yes. And I think there's a couple different things within the TV industry that I do enjoy. I don't really have one specific thing that I'm like determined to do, which is what I'm kind of like questioning, right? Where it's like, what am I going to do with my future? Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't have one set thing in mind. I do have a couple things where it's like, okay, I could see myself doing that. I could see myself doing that, which I think is a good thing, because then it's like I have different options. I'm not just like set on one thing. But again, if you're super passionate about one thing, I think that's amazing as well. But I think, I'm not just, it sounds weird to say, where it's like I'm not super passionate about one specific thing. It's just like, okay, I could see myself doing that and I won't like hate it. So I think that's really the biggest takeaway is, as you can see, like with all of this, is just like you have to try different things. I think you just have to go out there, whether again it's school, whether it's an activity, you sign up for something, a class, whether it's for school or not school, and just figure out what you like and don't like, and then seeing what within you like can you make a career out of, because you can make a career out of literally like anything nowadays. And that's amazing. And as I said, the only way you're going to figure out what you like is to figure out what you don't like. And the only way you're going to do that is to try different things. So I hope this helped. I mean, I feel like a lot of people ask me this, still, where it's like, oh, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? And I really don't know. And it's like I have, I want to be in the industry that I'm in right now. And I have a couple things that I can do and I'll enjoy doing them. But like, I don't really know if I have one set thing that I want to do, which I think is okay. And I think as long as I'm within this industry doing something that I like, I think I'm going to be fine. And I think, maybe if you're trying to think of like, oh, what one specific thing do I want to do? Maybe just try to broaden it out a little bit and think like, okay, what are a couple things that I'm interested in doing and how could I get myself to be in that position? So thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please consider subscribing. If you guys have any other questions or topics you'd like to submit, feel free using the Google form link down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.